Hey everybody, just wanted to share some info from a session I did with Ivan here last week. And Ivan is a client of Matt Paulsenberg's out at Point Grey. I've been playing golf a long time. He wouldn't tell me quite how old he was or how long he's been playing, but we both agreed it was over 50 years he's had a golf club in his hands. So this shot over here is his best one during his collection phase. It was 130 yards, a little bit offline left, 130 carry I should say. Club speed of 68 miles per hour, ball speed of 95. He gets up on it a little bit, but that doesn't really concern me. He's built a really repetitive motion that he knows what's going on with it, and he really came to me to see if we could maybe generate some more speed. So ultimately, we got him upwards of 77.5 miles an hour, ball speed up at 105, and ball flight still a little bit left, and he's gonna have a chance to groove this on the range over at Point Grey and whatnot, but. You're going to see that he gets up to 146 yards carry. So 16 yards extra, 9 miles per hour faster and 10 miles per hour ball speed. So when we looked at this, his forces are okay. I mean, he's not going to behave like a world-class athlete, right, at his age and how long he's been playing the game. So I have to look for ways to kind of get the most out of him. So one of the things that I noticed right out of the gate was his lack of acceleration of pressure. So over here, he never really gets pressure moving away in his takeaway or in his backswing more than 1.8 miles per hour. So that pressure in his feet isn't accelerating backwards very fast. And typically when that happens, it doesn't accelerate very far. So when he gets here and he goes up, and now he gets to push forward, but he only pushes forward at maximum 5.5 miles per hour. And that's not a very sustained push, and then he gets back into the 0 miles per hour range. So he kind of loads really, really slowly onto his right foot, and then kind of has an initial push and then kind of stabilizes that pressure around. So he ultimately doesn't quite generate enough speed during his pressure shift is kind of what I was thinking. So what we did was I asked him to just try to force pressure from left foot to right foot a little faster. And what we see here in pressure is that he starts to create a counter movement. I didn't ask him to create a counter movement. I just asked him to accelerate this pressure backwards in his feet. And sure enough, he reaches this high of like 13 miles, 12.7 miles an hour in his backswing. So where he was normally accelerating that pressure back like 0, maybe 1 miles per hour, he's getting it up to almost 13. From there, that pressure starts to stabilize during his backswing, as we can see here. And then he has a sudden kind of push over to his right or over to his left foot, 6.1 miles per hour, still pushing at 4 miles per hour where he would have been, at 1.7 and over here. And then it starts to stabilize. So not only is the push towards the target a little faster and a little longer, the push away from the target is significantly longer and significantly faster, okay? And ultimately, he ends up with a little bit more pressure on his lead foot than he did over here around impact. So he's 60% at impact versus 54. The pressure shift is longer as a result of this speed. And ultimately, it makes the club swing further back. It speeds up the club head, and it allows him to use the ground to create a little bit more force. So when we're doing ground reaction profiling or ground interaction, it's not just our three main motions that we're looking for, so rotation, vertical, and horizontal. We're also looking at things like speed of acceleration or the acceleration of the center of pressure during the golf swing. If we can get this moving faster, typically speaking, we're going to see higher club head speed. So I thought that was interesting, and for anybody who kind of out there who thinks that they're past the point of training for speed or using the ground isn't going to work for them, Ivan's a great example of quote unquote teaching an old dog new tricks, right? Seeing this speed come up 9 miles per hour in our very first session today was awesome, or last week, sorry, was awesome. It's getting those types of results aren't uncommon at this speed, right? So if you are a player who's swinging it slower and you're concerned that you don't have the physical capacity, there's a lot of different ways we can use the ground to get this speed, okay? I hope that helps somebody out there. Take care, guys.